Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to the garage. Well, here's my next restoration coming round. A Corgi Motorway Ambulance, heavily play worn. One of the flashing beacons on the top's chipped and damaged, the other one's not much better. But the glass looks good. And overall, can't say it's too bad, so it's going to be a nice one to do. I think there might be a problem with the suspension too. So let's get it on the table and take a look at it, shall we? Well, here we are with our ambulance. 2 rivets, red base. Suspension don't feel bad now. Glass, chipped and play worn. This beacon's destroyed. Maybe recoverable, bit of filler. But let's get a punch on these and get a hole drilled. There is already a little centre hole there. Right, I think we'll start with a 4mm drill there. Yeah, you can see that. It's quite a way off compared to that one. That needs a bigger drill. That needs about a 6 because you can see this mark round here. It's actually quite a bit wider. I'll put the angle grinder on it for a second. That's probably a better idea. Let's just try that. But you can see I've just gone around the edge there. I'm not sure if that has done enough. And a bit popped off over there. That's better than drilling because you might drill that hole too big. Just a bit of delicate angle grinding. Avoided taking the lettering off. Made in Germany. Germany for a second, Great Britain. There we are. Don't like those axles, I must admit. So if that's to go in the caustic, I have to take out that. This glass doesn't appear to be held in. It appears to be loose. It's one of those you've got to push it from all sides, I think. And the lights are one with the glass and the cabin and the steering wheel. It's not bad. Oh, there's a front glass as well. Which is okay. Now that was held in some little wedges there. So just got to get these wheels off. Got to take them off. Can't paint it with them on properly. Let's get a little grinder on there. I'll have to get one out, see what I can do. Or a cutter. Cutter actually might be better. Right, here we go with a cutter. Let's see if we can get one side off. Bit more to go. You often end up grinding a bit of the axle away doing this. Right, I think that might be enough. There we go. The other one to do, same process, quite a quick process when you've got the cutter on. It's better than the grinder. You can now see this axle is bent. I mean, they do tend to get a little bent when you do that process. You can see that one's quite straight after it. It has got some marks where they could have got it, but not too bad. Right, I think that should be enough, and there she goes. What I will do is clean up these edges. So the edges are cleaned up so the new axles will run better. So that can go in the caustic soda. Well, as you can see, we're back with our military ambulance, out of polish, relatively young casting, probably only about 50 years old. No real pitting to speak of, just a bit of tidying to do, a bit of filing on the lines, but a nice casting. Base, really nicely detailed this, so bit of opportunity to do some work there. Now straighten the axles, and it's quite an easy job because they fitted exactly like that. I just hit them with a hammer and straighten them out. So that's nicely done. I've done nothing with the glass yet. That still needs to be done, and the front will need polishing. Sorry if the sound's a bit different. I did find a casting line and it's here at the front. I've just gone round the edges with this file and tidied it up. There's a few pits, but I think the primer will cover those. But what I've done with this casting line, I've just gone over with this file. I've done the other side already. And I'll then go over with some 400, tidy it up, get rid of those file marks, and then it's into primer. Well, here we are with bits of our ambulance. Got the glass, the front glass, which also has the headlights. So the first thing we're going to do is dunk that into this floor polish. Grab it where it won't be seen, and in it goes. There's a bubble formed just there in the corner. We don't want that. Right, it's gone. Give it a tap, get the excess off, and that is going to be lovely. So I'll put that in a safe place. Stop the video for a second. Right, that's in a safe place. We can put this away, and that's what I use for the glass. Back to one side. Now we've got this other main piece of glass, which to be honest I wasn't happy with, and I'm still not happy with it. It's not really going to clean up that well. It's not going to have the shine I want. I've done a repair, still got to complete that, and I've put some filler around it. So let's tidy up the filler first. That's the first job. So we've just got a bit of 240 because I've got it on quite thick. What I'll do, I'll get on with that, just round it round, get it into shape, and then we'll look how we're sitting. Okay, well this is a paint we're going to use. Let's see if we can find it. Front. Miniature paints, it's an old paint, royal blue. So let's just get a bit of that out. And it is my paint of choice for flashing beacons and lights. Quite nice. And when they're that one that you can't retrieve them, I think painting's the only way to go, or source a new part. There we go, that's have to look quite nice really. Now, just for the sake of consistency, I'm going to get some down there. all the sides of the groove. Of course, all that's not going to be visible. Just this where we've got these raised stripes. So that's okay. Stop though, we're off to paint this matte black, and we can do that without waiting for that to dry, because it's not going to get in the way. Right, actually we've got some satin black to do the cabin, so let's get on with that. You know, it'd be so easy to just throw it back in and put it on, but I'm sure other restorers, you have this idea in your head how you want things to look, and sometimes you have to put a little bit of effort in, and sometimes you have to put in a lot of effort to get that look. And this is one where there's just a little bit of effort involved. And there we are. We have our black interior. Now, can put that to one side to dry. I do want to put a bit of, you can see where the crack was now, look quite clearly. I'm just going to put a bit of card or something around this flat surface, just to give that a bit of strength. Not that this will get played with. Next we can move on to the tyres, and I want to do these in gloss black. Well, to be honest, Audi A4 Brilliant Black, which I used to do my tyres in, but I stopped doing it for some reason. I moved to the marker pen, but this time we're going back to where we started. Right, so here we go with the Audi Brilliant Black. I'm just going to do it on the brush provided, really. I can get the spread right, don't want it going on too thick. Lob dropped off there. These brushes are, to be honest, they aren't even very good for touching up. Now I think what I'll do is, back to plan A, just get some on there and take it off there with a brush. So we've got a brush now. That's better. We'll go over that chrome as well. There you are. You see me do one set of wheels, and I'll just put those. Sorry to use that. Put those in that crocodile clip, and I'll do the other wheel off camera. Well, there we are. That's our two sets of wheels painted black. Centres will be chromed. Right, we've got to make a little repair patch to go inside of there. And to be honest, this little tab off this coffee jar will probably be sufficient to actually do it. So let's just cut the tab off. There we go. It's only a bit of reinforcement, and what I tend to do is just roll them flat, because we don't want those dimples there. There we go. They're more or less gone now. Paint's still wet on here, but we've got plenty of space to work with. And that's just going to go in there. And we're going to glue that on. And it'll just reinforce where that crack was. You're not going to see it through the windows or the roof. So I think what we'll do is we'll use a bit of our Gorilla Glue to do that. It was a tad, just a tad too thick maybe, so we'll just cut a bit off, square that end off, make it neat, even though nobody will see it. We'll make it neat, and that's going to be fine. So I'll just get the Gorilla Glue. Right, here we go with our Gorilla Glue. We'll apply it straight onto there, I think. Can get any out of the tube. That's going to be an adequate repair. You can see it's just a darker patch there. You won't see it either through the windows, etc. So we can leave all that to dry now. These are the decals I want to put on the side of the windows. And as you can see, they're on clear. So if I put them on that blue, it's not going to quite work. So what I've got is a big white marker pen. So I am going to see if I can just do that. Because they need to go on a white background. Right. So when we put those decals on there now, they're going to look like that. I'm not sure which one we're using, the big one or the little one. It might be the little one on this model, that bottom one. But we'll see. And this is the twist on this model. It's going to be a Captain Scarlet ambulance. So to cut these Captain Scarlet insignia out, I've got a punch, which is, from the looks of it, exactly the right size. So get it into place, a firm hit with a solid hammer. Push it out. And there we have a perfectly round Captain Scarlet roundel. Now, not sure how many I'm going to need, 2 at least, so I'll probably punch out about 4. As you can see, we've got 4 of those, and I used a fairly hefty claw hammer to make sure that punch goes through there. You don't want to be hitting it with a small hammer, you want something with a bit of force to it. So what I'll do now is I'll cut these decals out with a pair of scissors. Well, here we are, getting close to assembly. I'm not sure if I filmed all this, but I've coloured in the sides of the inner glass with a marker pen, white marker pen. Then I put it back in the truck, went over with a pencil so I could see where the decals need to go, front and back. Make sure I got good coverage with the marker pen, because what I want to do is ensure that these decals are perfectly flat, and I've got that straight line now as a guide there. That's the reason I did that. This is out the dried off and out of floor polish, and that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. I wish that had gone better. Wheels need chroming. Bodies come out really good in white. Bit of detailing on the base, just out of view. Got some little screws. Got some diddy little washers. That base. They were too long, those silver ones. So what I'm going to do is get the decals on here, get these painted, do something with the lights, perhaps start the detailing on there. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just do these little rear lights. What I've got is a little pot of orange. I'm going to put one of these little sticks in, minutest drop of paint. There's one side done. think not required. So that's 2 rear lights done. Put that away. That can be drying, that's why I did that first. Right, what we've got here is our glass. And what I wanted to do is not have these headlights chromed. Plan A is to have them yellowed. Remember cars from the 80s, mainly European cars, probably French or German, with yellow headlights. I do remember seeing them on Citroens. So what I want to do is just paint the rear. Don't have to be too accurate because it's only the lights that you can see. You can't see this part of the glass. So that looks a pretty good job. Hopefully, when we look at the other side, yeah, we see a slightly dull yellow, not a gloss yellow. So we can put that down, clean our brush. Right, we've got a chrome pen, and we're just going to do the wheels now. Now, these wheels are quite raised, so we should be able to just dot this on around the edges. So that's in view, so we're fine with that, that's in view. There's our second wheel done, and I'll do the next one off camera, because you don't need to see that again. Right, just get a bit of water on here. Not sure how decals are going to slide on this pen. That's all looks good. Ready to roll. So this second line is level with that hand-drawn line with the pencil. I think that's going to be good enough. I think that's going to look okay. What I try and do is just smooth it out a bit. For some reason we've got a few vertical lines in there. I'm not sure why, but I am going to live with them. I did use a bit of microsol on the other side. That one doesn't need it. It's got the 2 ends to do. I will do those off camera. You've seen me do a few decals now. Now I wanted some ambulance signs, and they are, I think, a wee bit too big, but I'm going to try and put one on. If not, I've got these smaller ones, but I'm going to try for the big one first. So we'll get that in some water. Okay, got our first one off nearly. Let's see if I can just ease it off. It looks good to me. Can dry it off a bit. When you dry it off, you'll inevitably end up moving it. Spot on. I think that's spot on. So I'll do the other side off camera. That's a bonus. I thought I'd be going to the small ones. Right, as you can see, we've got a red cross on the side. And now we are going to add our Captain Scarlet badge. There is a right way and a wrong way I've found to get this. That needs to be at a diagonal. That line there is not quite pointing at 12 o'clock. And that is correct. So I'll get the other one on while I can still move them about, because I'm just getting them on by eye at the moment. Right, here we go with the second one, and we'll just get it on first. We'll worry about sorting it out after. Right, it's on. Let's get a bit of water on that one. I think the middle of that duct window, slightly a bit more round. We'll check that to the other side, which was just a millimetre from the top. It needs to be further up. A bit long for me. Seems to be okay. Okay, we've got our decals on. Two at the side, ambulance front and rear. Away with that. I might put a red cross on the back door, but I'll do that off camera. I think we'll have a red cross on the back door. Right, the next job on the ambulance, part of assembly, is just to get these wheels back in, and they can be super glued right onto the base plate. So let's get a bit of super glue in there. Before they were was a sort of a, what would you call it, clasp there, whatever. So we can put our wheels in. And that in itself might be good enough. And I thought we'd just, for extra measure, just put a little bicarbonate soda over there. Just put a bit more super glue on it. And that will make it a rock solid fix. Push that back in there now. Leave that a second. Right, just tick the excess bicarbonate soda off there, and you can see that's dried. So we'll do the other side now. Here we are with our ambulance now. We can put the clear glass in first. And that clicks into place. There's a couple of locators. Get a pointer just there and there. You need to hear that click. There it goes. Then we can put our cab in. Firmly press that home. Then body goes on top, the chassis rather, base plate. What I've had to do is get a couple of washers. These 2mm screws just weren't wide enough. for the holes. Screwed that all the way home yet. These were originally silver washers. I've just marker penned over them. Found some black screws that were just the right size. Let's get hold of that now. It's in tight. That one's in tight. Two spares there, they were a bit long. And she's a good roller. Now, I'd used that trick before on the windows. These were actually a bit bigger on this dinky Cadillac Superior Rescuer. And I'm not sure if that's why these have got a few vertical lines. But not to worry. Now, I thought I'd just tell you what colours I'd used. I'd used, these are Humbrol paints, number 20 gloss on those rear indicator brake lights. Number 30 is the orange. And on the headlights, which you can see there, which I'm quite pleased with, number 12. And the ambulance, the special rescue vehicle, you might call it, was white gloss Auto Extreme with the standard lacquer. So the next time you see this, will be on the turntable. Well, this is what we started with. A heavily play-worn motorway ambulance in white, damaged flashing lights, good glass. So let's see how we got on, shall we? Because here it is now. Well, here is our motorway ambulance, Corgi number 700. Finally finished, yellow headlights, Captain Scarlet roundels on the side, striped, blue and white stripes down the windows, side and rear, ambulance decals on the roof signs. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been really nice to do this simple model. Now this model was in a range of models that were produced between 1974-79. There was the minibus number 701, the high-speed breakdown truck number 702, and the high-speed fire engine 703, and a security van number 424, which is very similar to this but in black. Now, the Captain Scarlet connection for me is that this looked quite futuristic, and I thought if Captain Scarlet had an ambulance in his range, this would pass muster. Captain Scarlet was produced between 1967 and 68, and there were 32 episodes, and it's constantly being repeated between 69, 74, 1980, 1993, 2001, and the latest 2024. It's also available on every format you can think of, Blu-ray, VHS, DVD, etc. I'm going to pop up a picture of an ambulance that appeared in Captain Scarlet now. I know this looks nothing like it, but I think these high-speed toys that Corgi did, you know, the Captain Scarlet models, the Joe 90, the UFO ones are all quite expensive, but these are cheap as chips, and I think they look the part, and that's why I went down this code-free route. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you can. I'm getting close to the 1,000 subscribers, so give me a push if you can. Send your comments in as well. I also have a Facebook page, these Garage Diecast Restorations, so you can contact me on that too. But for now, I leave you with the Captain Scarlet Motorway Ambulance. Thank you for watching and take care.